Welcome to another tea time with Donna. I am happy that you are here joining me for this intimate conversation. I want to remind you that these tea times are a dialogue, not a monologue. So put comments below this video. Let me know your thoughts and ask questions. Because today we have a juicy topic that I am going to be brave enough to dive into. I get all kinds of questions about God. I think how God operates and who he really is one of the most misunderstood subjects that we could dive into. And today, my subject is, why did God create evil? And I read this story, and I will be reading part of it if you would allow me to. And then let's talk about it. So, there was a professor at a university that asked his students the following question: does everything that exists, was it created by God? Everything that exists, was it created by God? Well, there was silence in the room. No one wanted to answer or to get into this, thinking there's probably a trick attached to this question. One student bravely raised their hand and said, yes, everything is created by God. He is the creator. And the professor persisted. Did he create everything? And the student said, yes, sir. He did. Then the professor dropped his trick question. If God created everything, then God created evil. Since its existence, according to the principle that our deeds define us, then God is evil. Did you catch that? Let me say it again. If God created everything, then he created evil. And since it exists, and according to the principle that our deeds define us ourselves, then God is evil. The student became silent after hearing such a statement. The professor was well pleased with himself, and he boasted to students for proving once again that faith in God is a myth and is erroneous and should be avoided. Another student was brave enough to raise their hand and said, can I ask you a question, Professor? And still proud and arrogant, the professor goes, of course. And the student stood up and said, Professor, is cold a thing? What kind of question is that? Of course it exists. Haven't you ever been cold? Students began to chuckle at the young man's question, but the young man persisted. Actually, sir, I beg to differ. Cold does not exist. According to the law of physics, what we consider cold is actually the absence of heat. A person or object can be studied on whether it has or transmits energy. Absolute zero is complete absence of heat. All matter becomes inert and unable to react at this temperature. Cold does not exist. We created the word to describe what we feel in the absence of heat. The student continued, Professor, does darkness exist? Of course it exists, said the professor, and everyone kind of snickered. I'm sorry, sir, to say, but you're actually wrong again. Darkness also does not exist. Darkness is actually the absence of light. We can study light, but we cannot study darkness. We can use Newton's prism to spread white light across multiple colors and explore the different wavelengths of each color, but you can't measure darkness. A simple ray of light can break into the world of darkness and totally illuminate it. How can you tell how dark a certain space is? You measure how much light is present. Isn't it so? Darkness is a term man uses to describe what happens in the absence of light. One more time, the young man asked the professor, "Sir, does evil exist?" The professor answered, "Of course. As I said before, we see it every day. Cruelty, numerous crimes, and violence throughout the world. These examples are nothing but a manifestation of evil." The student took a breath and said, "Evil does not exist, sir, or at least it does not exist for itself. Evil is simply the absence of God. It is like darkness and it is like cold. It is a man-made word to describe the absence of God. God did not create evil. Evil is not faith or love, which exist as warmth and light. Evil is the absence of divine love in the human heart. It is the kind of cold that comes when there's no heat, or the kind of darkness that comes when there's no light." And this student's name was Albert Einstein. Isn't that amazing? So often we can get situations twisted. Why did God let this happen? Why did this happen when God gave man free will to choose? If he was going to make you behave a certain way, he would have to make everyone behave a certain way. He gives man a free choice to choose light, to choose love, or to choose cold and darkness and evil. I'd love to hear your reflective thoughts. As we dive into this conversation, let me know your thoughts. If you would like to talk more, schedule a chat with me and let's find out how to have the most vibrant life that you can. It's my mission, it's my purpose to show how to shed the light so that everyone can know that there is grace, that there is ease, there is healing and love and hope. And it's all centered around God and His Son. Until next time, I'm going to enjoy my tea, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.